Until now, we have displayed products, added functionality to add them to the cart, and displayed a cart summary. Eventually, we'll want to display the cart too, so let's prepare our application for that. Since we haven't learned about creating multi-page applications yet, we're going to use an approach that's not really best practice, but for now, it's what we have to work with. So the application is only going to contain two views, the product list and the cart. Therefore, I can add a data property which contains a boolean representing whether or not we are displaying the cart. So let's do that at the top of our data property. Here I'll add a property named isShowingCart, and I'll set it to false initially because we want the front page to load when we load the page for the first time. And let's go into our templates because we're going to use this data property to decide which elements to display. So let's find this element right here, which is the wrapper around the product list. And here I can add a if directive. So if our data property is not true, i.e. false, then I want this element to be displayed. So if isShowingCart is not true, then this element will be added to the DOM. And now as for the cart, I will add a new element right here. So I'll add div, and I'll add the else directive to this one. So notice how it immediately follows the other element so that it's a sibling. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to use the else directive. So for this element to be displayed, then the isShowingCart data property would be true. So in here, I can add a header saying cart and just a placeholder text for now. The cart will be displayed here. Now this should all work, but we currently don't have a way of actually changing our data property to switch between the views. So let's do that at the top of the page. We have a button right here for viewing the cart. Let's add a click event handler to this button. So @click equals, and for the expression, I'll simply use an inline expression, isShowingCart equals true. So I'm just setting the isShowingCart data property to true whenever clicking this button. So now we have a way of navigating to the cart, but we also need a way to navigate back to the front page. So we'll do that if we click the site name on the left hand side of the page. So I'll also add a click event handler here. And here we'll say isShowingCart false. But actually, I need to do one more thing here for the click event handler. Because right now, if I click this link, then the browser is going to jump up to the top of the page because it's going to navigate to this hashtag. So this is the default browser action, which I want to prevent. So therefore, I can use the prevent event modifier, which is equivalent of calling event.preventDefault in vanilla JavaScript. So this is going to prevent the browser from jumping up to the top of the page, which is the default browser action. So let's open up our browser and see if it works. So right now we're on the front page because the data property is currently false. Let's try to click our button, and sure enough, we now see the cart because the data property was changed to true. And let's see if we can navigate back, and sure enough, we can. So that's great. So now that we can switch between views, we are ready to display what's in the cart in more details.